Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope you're enjoying Black History Month. Like I said, I was going to come out with another video for Black History Month, trying to help my people learn some of the things that are going on behind their back in Congress and stuff that kind of keeps us at the lowest of the totem pole. So as promised, this video is going to be about credit and how they use the credit system to keep you from applying for anything, getting any loans, or being able to start a business. So after the intro, I will be back and I will tell you about that.
Gotta scat and get mine underlined.
Many styles, as I combine all the truth from the mind. Heal up, bring it back, come rewind.
Gotta scat and get mine underlined.
Many styles.
You wanna know what's up? Oh, you got one, I just wanna kill you.
Like I said, my name is Jay, and if you like my videos, please like and subscribe to it. I don't really tell people to hit the bell for new notifications because really it just doesn't make any sense. People are on YouTube all day long, every day. So, if you go on there, you'll see, if you subscribe, that I put something up there new, so you'll be able to see what the news video is. So you really don't have to hit the bell. So again, like I said, my topic today is going to be about credit and how they're using it against us. How credit works. Haven't been taught about credit. Now, for anyone who don't really know credit, I'm going to give you a breakdown of it. Okay. Credit basically is anything that a supplier gives you and you pay them for it after. Okay, it's unlike debit, because debit happens right away. You go in the store, you buy some sneakers, you use your card, you push debit, your money comes out automatically. With credit, if you use a credit card for that same pair of sneakers, the credit card company pays for it, and then you have to pay the credit card company with interest for the product that you bought. Other forms of credit is cell phone, electric bill, gas bills, internet service, cable service, anything where somebody is giving you the service up front, and then afterwards, or after that cycle is over, then you pay them for the services that you receive. That's basically how credit works. Now, the way it works as far as in ratings is that you have a certain due date, say the 20th of every month. You have a phone bill that is due. If you pay it before the 20th, there's a number that it gets accumulated for the amount of days that you paid before that month, and then it goes into your credit as a positive. It adds to your credit score. It happens all the way up to the due date, which is the 20th. Every day after the 20th, now it gets accrued negatively on you. So say you didn't pay it on the 20th, but you paid it on the 30th. They'll calculate how much the score is for 10 days past the due date. That will bring your credit score down. And if you're somebody who's not paying everything on time, then say you have 5 different credit services: phone, electric, cable, internet, and heat. You have all the way from the 10th, 13th, 15th, 16th, whatever, up to the last due date to pay all those bills. You're not paying everything until the 30th. All the days that those bills are not being paid are being accrued against you. So it'll take all the time that you took to pay those bills and compound it to the amount of services that you owe. That is how your score gets reduced. Same thing on the positive if you do the same thing if you're paying everything 10 days before. They calculate everything 10 days before, compound it to all the services that you owe. They come up with a figure, and then that is what raises your credit rating. You could be as low as 350 and as high as, I think, 795. I think now they might have went to the 800s. I can't remember. But that's how it basically works against and works for you. For poor people and people don't make a lot of money, credit works against you because of this. What is the one thing that we will do as opposed to someone who has money? Perfect example. You get paid on Thursday. Your phone bill is due on Tuesday, but you only have $20 in your pocket. But it's Monday, you only have $20 in your pocket. What would a normal person do who doesn't have the funds? They'll keep the $20 in their pocket and pay the phone bill when they get a chance. That's how the government is using the credit system against us. Because if we can't afford to pay for these things, then what happens is your rating goes down, and then when you go to try to get a business loan, you're not going to get a business loan because the business company is the bank is going to look at all the services that you have and all the times that you've paid. If you haven't paid anybody or paid them late, brought your credit rating down, I think below a 620. Anything below a 620, nobody will really deal with you. No bank will deal with you. No landlord will deal with you. No the dealership will deal with you. Nobody will deal with you under a 620. And it used to be a 650. Because of how people nowadays are falling on bad times, they brought the credit rating down from 650 to 620. So anything below a 620 and you will not be able to get anything. And it will be hard to try to get services from, say, Verizon or Comcast or PGW or anybody like that, because they'll look at your credit rating, and what they will end up doing is they'll make you pay a deposit for the services. That way, if you don't pay it, at least they got something. You have families out here now struggling. They're doing the best that they can, and the impoverished parts of the city and every state are the ones who suffer the most with the credit rating. Because like I said, you only got $20. Your phone bill is $20, but you don't get paid till Thursday. Most reasonable people will go and they will hold that $20 to be able to have lunch or gas or whatever the case may be until Thursday. And then they'll go ahead and they'll pay the bill. That's how it is. Most people live in paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people don't have the means or the money to go ahead and pay these things right away. So the government used that against us, just like in my other video, how the government used how we discipline our children to make our children uncontrollable. If you want to know what I'm talking about with that, look at my first video on Black History Month and how our children are so out of control and what we can do to control them. That video will give you all the information on that and what the government did in order to keep us from being able to keep our kids under control. This one is basically dealing with the credit system and how the credit system is working against you. Most people who are making more than $30,000 a year are able to make sure that they pay their bills at least on time. So they have a pretty fair credit rating, anywhere between 670 to maybe a 710, 720. In order to get above a 710, 720, all your bills have to be paid early. Not even on time, they have to be paid early, because if they paid early, your rating goes up even more. You can get there paying them on time, but it'll take much longer for you to do so. But paying any bill early will bring your rating up even better. So what do you do if you are someone at a poverty level and you have to have gas, you have to have electric, you have to have internet, because a lot of stuff is being run off of internet. You have to have your phone, because a lot of people don't have landlines anymore. So you have to have your phone, okay? And you have to be able to eat. So what do you do, and what is the best way of trying to keep your credit rating up so that you could go into a bank and apply for a business loan and get a business started if you need to? What I used to do was, whenever I got paid, I would take $10 and I would put it in a savings account. Every time I got paid, I would put it in my savings account. If I ever got to a point where I couldn't pay a bill on time, I would go into that savings and I would take the money out of the savings and I would put it on the bill that I owed. The gas company seems to be the worst utility company as far as paying. The gas company doesn't get money from you all year round. Well, they do, but they don't get it for you using the gas for heat. They'll get maybe $20 to $30, $35 if you're just using it to cook in the summertime. But you don't have any heat on in the summertime. So the gas company makes their money all year round just in the winter months. That's why the gas company's amounts are 4 or 5 times more than any other utility company that you use, because they can only get their money between October and April. Those months is when it starts to get cold. You put your heat on. So from October to April, they have to charge you an extreme amount in order to make that money that they can't make from you from April to October because you're not using anything except for gas heat. And if you're a person who's not really cooking at all, then they're not even getting that from you. You have to watch out with what you do. It is very important to try to put some money aside, even if it's $5. Try to put some money aside every paycheck into a savings account, and only take money out of that savings account if you're not going to be able to pay a bill on time. You have Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Those are the three main credit bureaus. They're the ones that have the reports. Those are the ones that the utility companies contact when you're not paying your bills, and those are the ones who are making your rating. Your FICO score is basically percents of different parts of your credit rating. How long it takes you to pay a bill. What percentage is this bill for? What is this bill adding up to? You know, there's different parts to the FICO score that gives you an overall number for what your credit rating is. Say you have a charge-off. A charge-off is something that is the credit companies or the credit bureaus put on your account because of, say, you didn't pay your Verizon bill. You owe Verizon maybe $400 and something. So now the Verizon contacts the three credit bureaus, tell them that you didn't pay them. They put them all on your on their accounts, and then they bring your ratings down. Say this was in 1998. Well, it's 2021. If you didn't contact them and tell them that you need those removed, they stay as negative ratings on your credit rating. The second thing you need to do is contact the credit bureaus, find out any accounts that you had that were charge-offs that are over 7 years long. Real estate landlord-tenant is the only thing that can last up to 10 years long. Everything else is 7. Some bureaus, what they'll do is, if you contact them, say it's been 6 years ago, you want to get new Verizon service. You contact Verizon. Verizon tells you, well, you owe us money. We're not going to give you service until you pay the back money. What Verizon will then do is contact the credit bureaus and claim that you restarted services at the date that you called to find out about service. So that 1998 bill that you owe will now show on your credit rating as 2021. And what you have to do is you have to dispute that bill with them and tell them and let the credit bureaus know, I didn't get service at that time. I inquired about service. And once you can prove that you inquired about service, they have to put it back to 1998, and then you can have it removed. So it's very important to do that also, because that will help with your credit rating. So my people, the best thing to do right now is try to get your credit up, because what they are doing now, you go into a car dealership and your credit's bad, they charge you extra for getting a car. Go into a service center like cable, phone, whatever, and have a negative credit rating. They want you to give them a down payment in order to get the service. So the best way to combat that is two things. The first thing, like I said, try to put some money, I know you don't have a lot of money because they're not really paying you anyway. And that's why we hope Biden gets this $15 an hour. But until then, try to at least put $5 every paycheck into a savings account, and only use that when you're not going to pay the bill on time. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is contact the three credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Contact the three credit bureaus and fight any charge-offs that are more than 7 years old on your credit. And once you get those removed, that will bring your credit rating up. If you pay anybody, if you say you owe some people money and you're going to pay them, ask them for a letter verifying that you paid them. Once you get that letter, send that letter in threes to the three credit bureaus, and they'll take it off and they'll adjust it the way it's supposed to, and then adjust your rating as needed. Okay. Now, there's one alternative that you can use. I don't suggest this with everybody, because if you already are in the hole, you don't need to dig yourself in the deeper hole. If you're somebody who can afford to get a credit card, you can afford to get a credit card. You can use a credit card to increase your credit rating. If you go buy $5 of gas, $10 of gas, and you spend no more than $100 a month, and then say you're due on the 20th. On the 15th, you go and you pay that whole $100 off, or you pay the minimum amount off. That will greatly increase your credit score. But I only suggest that to anybody who can afford to do that. If you really can't afford to do that, do not do that. I hope I helped out a lot of people in their situations right now. Everybody stay safe out there. Try not to catch COVID, and I will see you in the next video.